good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Hello, hello. I'm just going to let the room populate here for a second, then I'm all yours to answer all of your questions. How's it going? All right. Yeah, mustache power. Yeah, it's coming in pretty good. I'm enjoying it very much. All right, I think the room's plenty populated now. Greetings, hello from France, hello from Japan. We're it's a Saturday morning here. It's a little past 8 a.m. And thanks for joining me on another Instagram live stream. So today, I'd like to answer some of your questions, give you some updates on what's going on with us, and we'll go from there. So I'll start off with if you're watching, let me start off with this because I always end off with this, and I don't know how many people make it to the end of the video. Of course, I repost these videos on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, one of our replays, like and subscribe to my channel, our channel, just so that you get notified for our latest videos. Also, at some point, I would like to pivot these live streams over to YouTube because it's actually a little bit easier for me to do the videos there, and the questions that get asked get saved in the chat, so you can see when a live stream is done on YouTube. You can see the questions that I'm answering. So sometimes there's no context other than maybe me reading them. So I guess there is context. But that's why once we have enough viewership over on the YouTube side of things, I'd like to pivot over there because also I can use better cameras. Like I could do a stream from my computer and hook it up to my DSLR, so I can have a really nice video quality going on over there. So head over to YouTube and subscribe. If you're watching this on the replay, please press that button. If you're watching it live, when you're done, go over there and do that, please. Be very helpful. Okay, so updates. So I got some good news today. The Quebec government is starting to slowly reopen, the world, so to speak. So on May the 11th, our factories will be open again. So that means we're going to be able to start producing again. So trunks denim, that will be one of the first priorities that we're going to have in terms of production. We're also pivoting some of our production space over to actual medical supplies. So we're working on the contract right now. We're in kind of a conglomerate of producers in Montreal that are going to be making medical garments for the federal government. So we're working on that. So that'll be that's kind of cool. So that's what we're doing there. And as of right now, we still have masks available on the website. There's a lot of options, but there's not a lot of quantities. These are all being made by people at home right now. So some of our factory workers who have sewing machines at home, they're doing that production at home right now. So there's only so much we can churn out. So get them while you can. I know certain, especially the pattern ones, are going pretty fast. But in some cases there might be only 10 or 15 of those in stock, so you just kind of get them when you get them. But we're constantly updating that, so check it out if you are into. I mean, I think once things open up, I think a lot of people are gonna be wearing cloth masks for a while. So if you have a if you see one you like, you should get it while you can. And of course, if you have any ideas, or if you see one of our shirt fabrics that you would think would be a good mask, let me know, and I'll see if I can get that put into production. Okay, I missed a lot of questions. The thing wasn't scrolling here. Hold on. Okay, nice porno stash. Thank you. Funny enough, if you've been watching the Instagram feed the last couple of days, there was a couple of photos of me, and a lot of fun comments on my mustache. Thank you very much. I enjoy that. what I find amusing, and I don't know, this is kind of interesting, that whenever we post photos of a person, not a lot of likes. Just, we have almost 100,000 followers, and I mean, the ratio is the lowest whenever we have a photo of a human in them, especially me. For some, I don't know, maybe people don't like me. That's okay, you don't have to. But we get the most likes, just for your general curiosity, we get the most likes whenever we have a picture of a leather patch or a salvage ID. So, and for me, it's like, I could go for the cheap, like, I know I'm gonna get likes if I post this, but we want to keep the feed a little bit more fresh than that. So we mix things in, but I do find that the engagement on a model is quite low, and I don't really understand why. I thought we took some nice photos. So anyways, I don't equate likes with what the audience, I don't equate likes with success in any way. So don't think that I'm offended in any way. I just find it interesting that salvage ID shots and like leather patch logo shots are universally loved and get the most likes, whereas on model, whether it's me or anybody else, get the least amount of likes. Maybe people, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for enjoying my mustache, all of you. All the nice comments are well appreciated. Can you talk about the 40 ounce? Yeah, absolutely. So that's another thing that we're going to be working on once we get back to work. I think, I don't know how many weeks ago, it was a couple weeks ago, I posted some photos on the Instagram page of our sampling. So we started doing some sewing samples of the 40 ounce. So we have some fabric in stock. We have our brand new, it's a absolute monster beast of a machine that is designed to specifically designed to sew through this fabric, and we can do it. As you can see from the sewing samples that we put out, that we posted some images of. So once the factory is ramped up, I mean, we have some catching up to do. This whole, there's also I'll talk about that in a second. Once everything's kind of back to, we've caught up a little bit, then we can get back into producing that jean. I still think, but by the end of the year, we'll have a couple of units available out for sale. The thing is that, like, this is a jean that's going to have to be made one by one. Everything about this jean is pretty much done on one single machine, whereas a typical jeans production, there's many jeans involved in that operation. So in fact, like, most operations involve a different machine. So because of that, it's going to be a slow process of making these jeans. So don't expect us to make 5,000 of these available. They're also going to be expensive. I'm not going to sugarcoat that in any way. Like the 32 ounce, we're likely going to sell these at a not much of a profit. I mean, there are certain things that we make where we're just like, we just want to get it out there, so we don't it's not the 40 ounce is not going to be a profit center for us by any means. So price point is going to be more expensive than the 32 ounce, probably significantly more. We're talking about a denim that is almost impossible to weave. They're still working on, like, mastering the weaving process of this fabric, and it's been almost 2 years now since maybe a year and a half, maybe, I don't even remember. It's been a while. So with this fabric, it's like there's a high defect rate in the fabric, so we're just left, like, cutting out, like, portions of the fabric, and sometimes that means, like, there's entire parts of the roll that are unusable. So you have to specifically cut out the fabric for the pattern, so there's a lot of wastage there, and then everything has to be cut and sewn one by one. So this is not a production line kind of thing. So price is going to be up there. I don't have the exact price, so I don't want to put it out there. I just want people to know that it's not going to be like the 32 ounce. Man, the crow is going ham. The crow? Is there a crow back there? There's crows around. Japanese crows are scary. They're big, and they're around, which is not something I'm used to. You know, in Toronto and Montreal, like, you don't really see a lot of crows in the city. And like, I'm not saying I'm not downtown Tokyo or anything like that, but even there you see crows. So the crows here are brave, they're big, and they're strong, and they're scary. There's also hawks. So if you go to the beach, sometimes they're like, don't have food out because hawks might snatch it up. So scary. How much are the 32 ones? I think they're $5.50 right now. Okay. What's going on? The brightness of my, lately I've also been having trouble with my Instagram feeds, like saving and stuff, and I'm using a different phone right now, and hopefully it saves properly, but I'm using like an old iPhone to capture this, and like now the brightness is all down. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't use iPhones very much, so looks awful. What's happening here? Anyways, I need a new phone that's good, and I don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone, so somebody help me out here. Tell me what phone to buy. Oh, sorry. I can't even see myself. The contrast is way off. Don't get on a crow's bad side. They're very social and recognize human faces. Ooh, okay. Well, thanks for the pro tip. I saw a hawk in Central Park yesterday. That's pretty cool. It's like, the animals are coming back to take it over. Have any good tips for fades? It depends on what kind of fades you're looking for. If you're looking for really, really high contrast fades, I mean, the common kind of answer is wear your jeans as long as you can. And the time for washing them is when you start to really notice the contrast between the high points and the low points, so like where your creases are and where your creases aren't. If you start to see a lot of contrast there, that's the point where you can start considering washing your jeans. The longer you do that, the more high contrast, the longer you wear them without washing them, the more high contrast they'll be. But I think that's the point where you can start washing them. If you want to start washing them kind of regularly, that's also a good point to do as well. I'm kind of in that camp these days. I go a couple of months without washing them, wear every day, and then after that I wash them on a more regular basis. That could be maybe every month or every 6 or 8 weeks, something like that. Depends how gross they get. Sometimes, and I've done this, and because I really like that vintage kind of light blue kind of color, sometimes I throw a little bleach in the wash in there as well, and that aids in kind of fading the jeans up a little bit. You get a couple of shades of contrast of blue. So that's I'm a little reckless sometimes. Sometimes I don't know if it's reckless is the word, but I do things. I experiment a lot. So that's another way you can kind of look at it. It's like, just feel free to experiment. And okay, I'm just trying to get my I don't know what brightness. There, it's kind of better. Can you guys see me okay? I just want to make sure that that's okay. Okay. Emperor of Slub is hands down the best Naked and Famous jeans. I think they're pretty up there in terms of just absolute insanity and throwing everything into one jean that is crazy. That's it. I mean, you've got heavyweight, you've got giant slub, indigo by indigo, made in Japan, beautiful leather patch. I mean, it's the cream of the crop jean right there. I think anybody who owns those is absolutely proud to have them. And of course, they're a little bit of a pricier price point, but that's, you've made it kind of in terms of that's the one. I think that's the pinnacle jean for a lot of people. They talk to their crow bros to let them know you're not cool. I haven't messed with the crows. I just, they just fly around. But that's some good advice. I don't want crows to bug me. Perhaps custom made, suitable for 40 ounce. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably we'll probably have to do that, especially for inseams, because of course they're going to be almost impossible to hem. So I think when we make them, we'll probably have to make them available with an inseam request. And don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if that's what we're going to be doing, but it seems like, as far as my thought process is concerned, that seems like the best way to go about it. Did the Burgess I'm assuming collabs ever release, or did I miss them? We've done some Burgess releases before. We haven't had. There's nothing in the works at the moment, but there will probably be another one down the line. OnePlus 7T. Yeah, I have the OnePlus 3T, and I've liked OnePlus phones for a while. My problem is like I like the dash charge, or like the turbo, or whatever they call it now, the hypercharge, or they changed the name of it, but I don't like having to carry that particular adapter with me all the time. I prefer something that was a little bit more generic, like the Qualcomm turbocharge. I don't know, ones that are available on more devices. So if I get because I have like charging bricks that I like, travel charging bricks, and then I have to carry my other one, so really annoying. The price points of those are up now, but I think they're up. I don't know. 7T is probably a little bit older now. I'm not sure. I haven't been up on. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going on in phones. New $400 iPhone. Yeah, I'm not. I have an iPhone, like I'm carrying it right now. I just don't like. I don't like their interfaces so much, but it does seem tempting that iPhone SE. I've been looking into that one as well. That's one I've seen a lot of reviews on that seems pretty good, especially for $400. So that's a maybe. I also don't like my problem is that like I very rarely break a phone, but double glass on a phone, ugh, I just want someone to make a $400 good phone that's sturdy and won't break and fast forever. Those are the things I want in a phone. I think FedEx lost my Naked and Famous mask. I don't know about that. I mean, it could happen, but I know that FedEx is really overwhelmed right now. We have a lot of packages that are kind of stuck in places. Like I have some packages that are supposed to be delivered to me here that are still stuck in the States. So I think that some of their hubs maybe they're closed, or maybe they're just not at full capacity. So there's a lot of packages just kind of stuck in limbo. So I don't think it's necessarily lost. Even, you might call them and they might say something like that to you, but I think that they're just kind of stuck in a warehouse somewhere or in a transport hub somewhere. And once things start to open up a little bit more, and maybe they have more feet on the ground, they can start moving these packages through. But you can imagine just how much shipping is going on right now. And, and it happened like all of a sudden, it's like, so some of these places may not have been ready to handle the increase in shipments that they were going to be handling. And combine that with the fact that, some workers may not be coming to work because they're sick or they're scared or whatever. That's causing a lot of, there's a lot of things, I don't know, kind of slowing things down here and there. But I think if if they lost it, it's possible. But I think it's mostly has to deal with the system kind of being overloaded. I can tell you from our perspective, we see a lot of our packages that we shipped, like a not a significant amount, but a lot more than normal, packages kind of being stuck somewhere. All the time it happens. There's one package here or there that kind of gets misplaced in transit, and eventually mostly everything gets found and gets delivered. In fact, it's very rare that a FedEx package gets actually lost. It happens, but it's rare. Usually things turn up eventually, within a couple of days after they've kind of been stuck somewhere. But right now there's been a lot more packages that have kind of just been stuck, and I think that's because of the overload. So hang tight, and stay on top of it, of course, and if it does get lost, we're going to take care of you. So you always have that. Is the Sakura kimono intended to fit tighter or loose in the shoulder than a denim jacket? I would wear it. It should fit like a denim jacket in the sense that you have room to layer with it. Though with a denim jacket, you might be layering a hoodie. Although I have layered kimono jackets on top of hoodies before. I kind of like wearing it that way. So I would say you would want to wear it a little bit looser, but it's up to you. Some people want to wear denim jackets and these kimono shirts like tighter. So it's up to you. Are there any Summer Breeze fade pics? I've decided to start wearing them as my quarantine jeans. Not quite yet. So pay attention to the hashtag because of course a lot of people post their photos there. I try to share as many photos from the hashtag as I can on the on our Instagram stories, so I'm sure you've noticed some of that. So for anybody who has been actively participating and sharing those photos, make sure, thank you very much. And if your jeans are fading, I'm sure other people want to see them as well. So please post some photos and be part of the community there. And people like seeing those images. Summer Breeze is so comfortable. These things are almost feel like pajama pants. I mean, they're super lightweight, and especially right now it's like the temperatures are starting to rise, and like you want to wear those lighter weight jeans in the summer. So great choice. Raw denim equals black canvas. No, it does not. Yes, we can see you. Okay, I think I've missed a lot of questions. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. I might have missed your question. Sorry about that. You guys are a lot of questions coming my way. Any more fun colored wefts on the way, especially heavyweight? Really enjoying the Hanami. Yeah, I mean, we will, of course. We're never gonna stop doing that. Spring summer collection is spring summer 21. I know I'm going way ahead of myself. We're gonna have some fun. I can't see myself. I don't know if my screen is bright enough, but like I've mentioned before, we have some Rick and Morty stuff planned for spring summer 21, so you're gonna see some fun colored wefts there. At least that's the plan. So we're working on that right now. So we're always gonna have fun colored wefts. It doesn't happen every season, but we will never stop doing things like that. FedEx is the I don't want to say that. We use a lot of FedEx. I think they're a good service. I mean, we ship a lot of packages. A lot of packages get delivered. I think from the perspective of the consumer, I mean, you kind of only remember your worst kind of experiences, and with the amount of volume that we ship, I mean, it's very rare for something to get lost or stuck. So from that perspective, I would say that we like using them. And in fact, I mean, almost all carriers we rarely ever have any issues with. So it's sometimes it's a matter of here's one thing that I kind of get. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Is some people are annoyed that they might have to go and pick up a package if they weren't home for your delivery, and to that I say, yeah, I mean, at least you'll get your package, because sometimes packages get left on your door and they get stolen, and then what? It's frustrating for you. The shipping company isn't particularly responsible for that. In fact, as retailers, we're responsible for that. So I would rather somebody get their package and sign for it than have it stolen, because that's a thing, man. I'll tell you that much. So be aware. I mean, be aware. I mean, it's I guess, what am I trying to say? I'm just trying to say, like, don't use your perhaps like maybe one bad experience to kind of to I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say. I don't know the words. Don't use your bad experience to kind of like let that lead your perception of what that company can do. So not every experience is going to be great, but I think overall we have a good experience with them. So that was a long rant on FedEx. My FedEx package didn't update for a week, then suddenly delivered. So hang in there. Yeah. See, like I said earlier, sometimes, especially now, I think it's hard to be overly critical of certain systems. I mean, the fact that they're delivering so many packages worldwide as quickly as they are is a testament to them. So I mean, we gotta. I can't clap my hands because anyway, some snaps out for all the shipping companies. A Dirty Harry inspired jeans, kind of like True Grit. That could be fun. Make my day. Denim scrubs. We won't be making denim scrubs. The thing about scrubs is that there are particular like specs that they need to follow. So we are, of course. I mean, some of our factory is going to be converted. It's not converted. It's just some space in the factory is going to be reserved for making some medical supplies, and like there's a lot of like guidelines that you must follow, and especially for the different levels of garment. So there's ratings for like different garments and their uses. So the specific garment that we are going to be making is a little bit higher spec. So there's a lot of stuff that you need to follow in that respect. Has your move to Japan helped influence the season currently in development? I don't know about that. I mean, we usually come into Japan to design the collection anyways. At least we do a lot of our meetings here. This season, of course, I don't think that Brandon is going to be traveling here. He might. I don't know. It's maybe he'll come sometime in May or something. We'll see how the travel restrictions work. I'm not quite sure, but you know, I would say back to you know, shipping companies and their great work. You know, getting swatches from our mills, our their offices to us here in Japan and to Canada. You know, that's kind of been smooth. So you know, we have a set of you know, all of our sampling ideas here and in Canada, so we can you know, we conference call and make sure that we're kind of all on the same page about everything. So I don't know if specifically being here has influenced anything yet, but I'm sure down the line, you know, especially and the thing is, it's always kind of been the case that like when we're here, we kind of see what people are wearing on the streets, what's going on in retail, and that kind of influences the things that we like and that we make, you know, because sometimes we'll see something here that hasn't quite hit, you know, North America yet. And like, you know, for example, one of those things is kind of like Strong Guy. There's a lot of like loose fitting jeans here, and that trend didn't really hit North America so hard, but it's quite popular here. I see a lot of guys kind of wearing looser, baggier pants, girls too, especially the girls. So those kind of things have always influenced us. I don't know about this specific moment if it's influencing anything any more than it normally does, but I'm sure down the line it'll subconsciously or consciously enter the collection. Are there any brown denim pants? We don't have any brown denim, but we do have the brown duck canvas. What are the weights of the hoodies? They are listed on the website, and they are heavyweight. They're badass heavyweight hoodies. That's one thing that you know, I tout them a lot, especially in like the fall winter. I wear them a lot. They're incredible. They're fantastic, and if you haven't had a chance to try one of our hoodies, if you're in the market for a hoodie, then it's a good time to try them. Yeah, they're beefy. They're definitely beefy. Just joined. Any Batman news? Only news that I can add to anything is we're ready to start producing. Basically, as soon as we open up the factory, production fabric is on the way. I'm right now working with our retail partners to line up. And, you know, I've offered the collection to our retail partners, so they're kind of doing their orders and making sure that they have the styles that they want for this collection for the release. So that's all kind of in the process right now. The delivery date still, as of now, is, kind of November to January-ish for deliveries, and we'll have drops periodically throughout that time. So that's what's going on with the Batman collection right now. Requiring the unrelenting attitude of Vegeta to break in. This was no joke. A few months in, and I'm still breaking them in. I mean, it's a tough denim, a beautiful denim. I think a lot of people, from the Dragon Ball collection, that was the most hardcore denim option, and man, it was no joke. That's for sure. In Canada, FedEx is better than UPS and Canpar. I mean, like I said, we use pretty much every shipping service imaginable, and we find, in terms of deliverability, very little difference between all of them. They're all very good. It's kind of comes down to pricing for us. We try to negotiate the best rates we can with them, so that we can pass off our savings on to you guys. So that's where we're at with that. What's the difference between an Okayama Spirit and a Japan Heritage? I'm going to tell you, not much. Okayama Spirit, up until the newest one, was always unsanforized, whereas Japan Heritage was sometimes sanforized and sometimes not sanforized. But they really are kind of classified in the same world, if you're asking me. Okayama Spirits usually were a little bit heavier as well, but those fabrics they come from the same mill, so it's that's not all. Anyhow, so there's not a lot of difference there. They're kind of our series of I would say, gorgeous denim fabrics. How about the alcoholic lemon drink? If you were tuning into my personal live stream yesterday, my wife was having a lemon, I don't know what it was exactly, but some kind of lemony drink on our walk yesterday. You can drink on the streets here in Japan. So it was a kind of a nice sunny day, so we were taking a walk by the river, which is just down that away. So the river is just over there. So you can't really see it from here, but it's kind of a nice walk. So we're enjoying the sun yesterday. Any help for Canadians given the abysmal exchange rate? Yeah, the exchange rate right now is not great. It's difficult. It's difficult right now. It's not like, the thing is that we buy everything in USD, so our prices are kind of set by the US dollar, and we actually will. Yeah, there's not a lot we can do. I mean, I'm trying. There is between the US MSRP and the Canadian MSRP, there's a little bit of breakage. At least when we designed it at the start of the season. Of course, we can't compensate for what the future exchange rates are, but we never go full tilt on that exchange rate when at the point we are developing the collection. So there is actually a break built in, but right now the exchange rate, it's not great. That's for sure. And there's not much we can do about that. It's just, if we could predict what exchange rates are going to be, we would not be making jeans. So the way we basically combat our uncertainty is not to go full tilt on the exchange rate. But if things change like they have now, it's not, there's little we can do about that. I would say that if you're a Canadian, then if you could shop in store at Tate and Yoko, or check out some of our other Canadian retailers, throw them some support. Muttonhead, Over the Rainbow, Do Till Denim, these guys all have their retail prices set in Canadian dollars. So like I was saying before, at where the exchange rate kind of was, the prices were basically, they're very similar, but the way the exchange rate is right now, it's kind of not particularly in your best favor. And I mean, we're gonna have to compensate for that when we develop the next collection, but I don't think that our exchange rate with the US dollar is going to remain at this level for that long. I mean, it hasn't been this low in a long time. It's bound to go back up again and kind of level out. So I hope. I don't know. I mean, I'm no economist, but we try to balance things out as best we can when we develop the MSRPs for the collections. Okay. Hey Evan, thanks for joining. Are the hoodies loop wheeled? They're made on loop wheel machines. Yes. Are there any products you guys wish the public enjoyed more, past or present? Our bomber jackets never sold that well, and they were really nice. We had some really great fabrics in our bomber jackets. Those are I'd say that. Anything else? I'm trying to think of products that we don't make anymore that I really enjoyed. Maybe that's it. I think that's the number one for me. I wish people enjoyed our bombers more. And every now and then, we're developing a new season, and Brandon's like, should we do another bomber jacket? And I'm like, I want to. Personally, I want to. But, the retailers don't respond well. I think, as a jeans brand, people think jeans first and maybe outerwear last. I mean, we do make jean jackets, so that kind of fits in the world, but our bomber jackets were so nice. And anyways, maybe they'll come back again one day, but that's the one I regret. I think that I wish that people enjoyed more. What Naked and Famous products has sold the worst throughout the brand's history? The worst selling thing? That's kind of hard to quantify, because some things we know aren't going to be profit centers. Sometimes we just make things because we think they're really cool. Like the Crossways denim, for example, fun jean. We sold through what we produced, but it's not like we sold 10,000 pairs of those. So it's hard to quantify that. So in other ways, somebody missed the garbage truck, so they're running down the street to meet the garbage man. Sorry, I got distracted. So in that respect, in our history of our brand, there's been really nothing aside from maybe a botched production that hasn't sold well. I mean, if we botch a production, it just kind of collects dust. And there are believe it or not, there are people in the world. They're kind of like out in. One of our salespeople met, because one of our salespeople used to work for a different brand, and through that they met kind of people in like South America and like other like Eastern Europe that they. So there's a couple of different levels of how kind of inventory that doesn't sell sells. So you go from like your retail, and then you work. So as a brand, you'll sell your products to, retailers or, department stores, that kind of thing. And then kind of whatever is left over, that stuff, either, you mark it down on your own website, you sell through it, or sometimes if that's not possible, you work with off-price retailers. So outlet stores like Century 21 or Winners or things like that, Gilt, and they'll buy your overstocks. So you kind of sell it to them at a deal, and then, they pass the savings on to their customers. At the same time, sometimes I remember with Gilt, we used to make product for Gilt, specifically for them. We used to make some product for Gilt. And we would also sell kind of our overstocks. We used to do a lot of overstock business with Gilt. And then there's the last level of and this in fact is, you don't find a lot of these folks out there, but one of our salespeople knew somebody who they buy damages. So if you have stuff that you can't sell because it's defective or damaged or whatever, they buy it up and they'll sell it in their territory. And these territories tend to be places where, I don't know. Anyways, so I know we've had some botched productions. There was something wrong in the production line, and the jeans were just unsellable, and they don't get thrown away or tossed or burned, because at the very least, some people don't care about those defects, and I mean, the reality is it's still a perfectly wearable garment, and then it ends up in some other territory, and it kind of disappears that way. But for the most part, I would say like 99 point, especially now, like 99.99% of our products get sold through our retailers and through Tate and Yoko. Like there's not a lot of like outlet business anymore, or even like that kind of like damages business. Like our damages are pretty low. Like anything that like absolutely can't be sold, there's not much of that. Any kind of B grade stuff that kind of gets sold off in mystery item land, or sometimes we do those promotions like those mystery crates, that kind of thing. So that's kind of where that stuff goes to. But that's not, sometimes you get some, it's not just B stocks and mystery. Also sometimes it's just last of. So mystery is really actually a mystery. So we for anybody who's gotten like a B stock mystery, you'll see that it could just be like a little snag on the fabric somewhere, and it's like, you were gonna, especially if you're into raw denim, you were gonna beat your jeans up anyways. That kind of stuff is gonna happen anyways. It's just like, you can't sell that as a brand new item, so what do you do with it? So sell it as mystery, and people who get it don't care, and especially because they're getting it at a deal. Anyways, that was another long rant. What do the Batman look like? We'll reveal that when the time comes. Your shipping is crazy. I get mine in 2 business days in Alberta. That's right. Like I was saying, we have great our shipping partners. Hi, hipster. Hi. Any Mortal Kombat news? Not quite yet, but that's going to be planned for fall winter 21. So that's a ways away. Right now we're working on spring summer 21. So fall winter 21 is my plan for that. That's going to be the gory season. I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we had planned for Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, kind of as a fall winter 21 kind of release thing, but given the current climate, that kind of got pushed. So the fall 21 is the fall 20. So this year's Halloween kind of horror themed product isn't going to happen anymore. Whereas we're going to push that to fall winter 21 and do a double release at the same time. Every time I see sneak peeks of the dark blue MIJ, I've been blown away. Can you speak a bit more about the fabric and texture? Do you have one right now by any chance? I do. Let me see if I can... it's kind of hard. My lighting is crazy. Let me go in and grab a pair. Mount Fuji also visible right now? Okay, wait, hold on. I don't think so. It's kind of overcast, so you're not really going to see anything. See, it's usually over there, but not today. Let me see if I can find those MIJs for you. This is not a question, but I just want to let you know that since I started wearing Naked and Famous jeans, I don't buy any other brands. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for your support. Appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna go inside real quick. Hey. Just gonna look up the MIJs. I'm one-handed coffee, opening the door. A lot of things going on. Whew. My house is a little messy, so forgive me. Hold on, just gotta hit the lights. That didn't help. Hold on. Is that? No. Do we have the MIJs here? Yeah. Oh, here they are. Never mind. I just couldn't find them. Here. I'll check Over the Rainbow. Yeah, Over the Rainbow is a great place to look for, our products in Canadian dollars. Best weird guy denim for a new buyer of Naked and Famous jeans. I want some badly, but no place to try them on. I found some DBZ pairs in my size. The best weird guy denim for a new buyer. I think the left-hand twill is a great place to start. That's pretty much my go-to answer for anybody looking to get into their first pair. It's what I'm wearing right now, actually. It's. I'll show you guys. They fade beautifully. I mean, you can't go wrong with these. Check that out. I've been wearing these ones for years. I busted out the knee. I should probably fix that. That hole's getting a lot bigger. So, great denim. Can't really go wrong. And yeah, that's what's going on there. Okay, wait. Okay, switch this around. I've got the. Oh wait. The MIJ. Risa, did we the stitching colors stayed the same? Or no, we went with like black stitching for this, right? Yeah. 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 So you can see that it's a little bit more navy in the sample, but this is going to be a little bit darker for final production. You've got the sheepskin leather patch. No. Yes, sheepskin. Yeah. Sorry, my brain is all over the place. And it's just a super, super dark. It looks black, but it's actually blue. I need is there a sheet of paper or something around? I want to show off exactly the really interesting detail of this particular denim. There we go. Thank you. See, you can see how black it looks, and then can you see that? More. See, it fades blue. Pretty cool, huh? So these are going to be coming out production is underway right now. So we're going to have these ready on the market sooner than later. And we've got the black MIJ buttons as well. So these are coming soon. MIJ 7. Okay. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom because I think I missed way too many questions, and like going through all these is going to take forever. So, okay. Is the MIJ 7 just the nightshade denim on steroids? That's probably not a bad way to equate it, because the nightshade is not, the nightshade isn't quite as black as these. But I would say, yeah, the nightshade on steroids. That's a perfectly good way to categorize them. I've been wearing my Toxics daily. That's great. I've been wearing my jacket a lot. But I've been home a lot also, so I want to get some more wear in them. I want to see how yours faded. We did a kind of a mock fading of a pair in the office. Me and Garrett kind of went to town on a pair with some sandpaper. We can try to have some more fade examples for this fall. Yeah, we're going into the fall season. My brain is in spring development, but anyways. Are your retailers going to sell our masks? We are going to work on that. Basically, the difficulty right now is that our production is quite sporadic. Like I said, these are kind of being made at home right now, so it's not like we have a consistent flow of goods. So it's hard to fulfill orders for our retail partners because, we might get 17 of one mask and 13 of another and 40 of this. So it's like, if a customer asks me specifically for, I need 15 of these and 20 of those, and it's just, I don't have the inventory to meet that demand right now. So once our factory opens up, we'll have a consistent flow of goods, and then we'll be able to supply our retailers with masks consistently. Your masks are kick-ass. Surprised there's no logo print. That's on purpose. I didn't want to put a logo on it. I don't think that this is the time to be marketing. So it's a plain mask, and if you didn't know it came from us, then you're not going to know. I've seen, I don't want to throw people under the bus, but I mean, what's the taste in putting a logo on the front of a medical, I mean, it's medical, it's not medical. I mean, semantics there, but like, come on, man, don't do that. That's not a place to advertise. So it's not on there on purpose. I don't want it on there. I didn't want this to be a marketing opportunity for us. I just wanted to make some masks because people need them, and we have the ability to produce them. So that's just that. MIJ banner mask? No, that's not happening. We're gonna make that banner jacket though. So once we're up and running again, that plan is going to be coming to fruition. So watch out for, I guess maybe in the next 6 weeks we'll probably announce the banner jacket again. Once we kind of open the factory up, we got to get a handle on what the production schedule is looking like, and then we'll go from there. So that's kind of where we're at. So I would say that it won't be that long until you see the banner jackets up for pre-order. Man, we were literally like just days away from announcing the pre-order on that. Like we had everything, all the imagery and all the stuff ready to go, and then it's got to close. So, anyways, that's where we're at. What is your relationship with Tate and Yoko exactly? Do you own them? Naked and Famous, the owner of Naked and Famous, so Brandon, owns Tate and Yoko. It's the retail store that we also operate. So if you ever come to Montreal, our office building is like we run our like our office is on like the second floor, the third floor is our factory. So like we have basically we operate in the entire building, and our ground level we own a retail space called Tate and Yoko, and let me tell you why it's Tate and Yoko and not Naked and Famous like we have Naked and Famous Denim New York. So back in the day, in the early days of starting the brand, it was kind of taboo for brands to be selling, kind of competing with their retailers. So we didn't want to necessarily, have a website that did that. So we thought, okay, well, we have this space, and what we should do is, because there isn't a denim store like what we wanted to do in Montreal, let's build that denim store. There's a lot of relationships we have with different denim brands, and nobody else is kind of offering this in Canada. So let's do it. So we built that store. And it still remains a multi-brand store, but of course it is also kind of the Naked and Famous store. If that's that we carry all of the Naked and Famous products there. So it kind of got birthed out of like, we don't want to compete like directly with our retail partners. We saw a need in the market for this concept in Canada, in Montreal. So we opened that store, and that's kind of where we're at today. I mean, we never changed the name to Naked and Famous. We still carry other brands. We just brought in Velveteen, a great American-made knitwear brand. So we're still very committed to being a multi-brand store. The direction has changed a little bit from being like very, very. I mean, we're still very denim centric, but we're not collecting brands anymore. I find that a lot of, I don't like that. A lot of stores collect brands, like they just have them all, but there's so much within those brands that are the same as kind of all the other brands. So we've curated it down to the ones that we think are making very special things, things that you're not going to find. Yeah, I mean, it's relationships that we have that are very strong, stories that we like, and we find that they're unique enough that we don't need to bring, sometimes it's like two brands might be making similar items, but I don't need to bring both those similar items in. One brand kind of does, like a brand like what's it called? like Burgess, for example. I mean, they've got a great history, and I really like their price point and the kinds of products that they make. And so, that's brought in for a reason versus, another brand that might be very similar. They might not have the same type of product assortment. So I can get a lot more out of one brand than I can out of another. So I'm not really into the collecting for collecting's sake. I think a lot of that product is similar in a lot of respects. So, yeah. Is there an image showing the different fits like in an overlay? No, there isn't. But there are images of the jeans on the website, so you can see it there. I mean, you could just save it, I suppose, and overlay it. The problem is, like with overlays, especially like if you're not wearing the same shoes, if not the same model, though, a lot of those photos are taken on me. And I'm not that tall, so I mean, I'm not a model. I'm just a body, so it's kind of hard to I think judge things that way. Why no relationship with boot companies like Westco? We got out of the footwear market a couple of years ago on Tate. I just, it wasn't that big for us, and the thing with footwear is that it requires a lot of space and a lot of inventory, and I don't think we wanted to go deeper than we were, and especially for kind of the return on investment on that. So we let other people be the boot people. We kind of shifted a little bit more to outerwear, so you see brands like Valence and Wander on our website. So just great outer and shot. So we've got great leather jackets as well. So I think the outerwear stuff for us is doing better than the boots ever did. So that's kind of where we're at. And we're in Canada. It's cold. It's cold for a long time. So, I mean, to be fair, it's cold. You need boots in the cold too. But anyways, there's other places to get boots. Other places to get jackets. But anyways, I like selling jackets. So that's kind of where we shifted. How do collaborations typically come about? I mean, it's always kind of personal relationships, especially when we're doing it with other brands. So if we have a great relationship with that brand and it's something that we believe in and that we like, so we will pursue that. Especially if we think that we can make something special where we can bring out the best of, their brand and combine it with, the best of our brand. So that's kind of how that works. Any Naked and Famous retailers in Tokyo? Yeah, you can find us at Hinoya in Ueno. So Hinoya is also the parent company, the company that owns Burgess. So Burgess is the house brand of Hinoya. So we kind of have a good relationship that way. They carry our products, we carry their products, and it's always great to see those guys and see what they're up to. Do all Naked and Famous jeans have patches? Because if they do, I came across one that didn't have a patch and it looks very similar, like a copycat. I don't know if it's a copycat. I mean, I'd have to see that. But all of our jeans do definitely come with patches. You can remove them. There's nothing stopping people from doing that. I'm waiting for your restock of the Shot B3 jacket. Send Garrett at Tete and Yoko a message. We could restock if you need a special order or something like that. We can always get that for you. Okay, I'm getting cut off here on the Instagram Live. I'm reaching my limit here, so I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks so much again for tuning in for another live stream. I'll catch you guys next week. In the meantime, if you have any questions or whatever, send them my way, and stay safe out there. Later, guys. Bye-bye.